So those online, please confirm that you can hear me and that you can see my screen.
Yes, please. I can.
All right. So you're welcome to Lecture 365 for those that are new, and to data analytics for data science class. I'm still expecting a few persons. Second is coming. Oh, yeah, I don't know if they are coming, but we are still expecting a few persons. Salamde, I saw him online, but he went off. Mr. Chooks, who again? Mr. DME, counted about 5, right? All right, so hopefully they join us either physically or online. For those that are new, let's get to meet you. My name is Oluwashim, right? And I'll be in charge of your data analytics class from Excel to Python. You understand? All right. So once again, my name is Oluwashim. Let me get to meet you. Let's start from the back.
Yeah.
Okay. Data analysis, data science, AI. Data analytics. Okay. Why data analytics? Huh? You find it interesting. Okay. Have you done anything related to it before? No. Sorry for asking this question. I just get to know those that I train, right? What do you have your first degree? The first degree, what do you have? What did you study in your first degree? Somebody did in this class. Who? Was it Uju? I had business administration. But somebody who studied business administration. Okay, Miss Blessing. That's nice. Of course, doesn't studying data analytics does not have anything to do with the degree. I studied physics. I studied. So before you continue, I forgot your name already. That's something bad about me. Blessing, right? Okay. I will remember Blessing because somebody was in this class before. She just finished her training and she was blessed. So I remember her. Blessing. Blessing what? Sorry for that. Gladys. I won't forget Gladys because there's a school named Gladys in my area. Gladys what? Fadi. I saw one Fadi on level 8 one. Oh, okay. No, sorry, from which state? No one Fadi from it. All right. Data science, AI. Data science. Was. Why you study a first degree? Just getting to know it. It has to. What are you doing? Great. They don't like us. The tech side of that. As a data analyst, you can work in the healthcare industry. Right? They are really you practice. Where do you practice? Yeah, boss is Gladys, Leslie. So let's get to it. They don't know you, I know you, so let them get to you. I continue. Why is it studying different? What do you say studying here? Economics, yeah. All right, so we have Olabukos here and Precious online. Let's get to meet you one at a time.
Yeah, good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Yeah, my name is Olamposi. I'm actually in this training for data science, but I'm hoping to still press forward in AI. Yes.
Course leading. All right, so I was asking some people, the people in class, I was asking them a particular question. It has nothing to do with the training, just getting to know everybody. Why did you study your first degree?
So my first degree, I studied pharmacy.
Is that?
I studied pharmacy, my first degree.
Pharma. We have a lot of medical persons this time around. We have a nurse in the house as we speak, and now we have a pharmacist. That's nice. All right, Precious. Let's get to meet you.
Good morning, everyone.
All right. So before
My
you
name is
talk, right? Those
Precious.
in class. Wait, wait.
Okay.
So before you talk, right? Those in class, if you cannot hear what they are saying, you can hear what they're saying. So you can join online, right? Maybe with your phone, but just mute yourself. Do you understand? So whenever they are talking, we can hear them because at times it might also ask some questions. Do you get? If you need to hear them, join via the link, mute yourself so that it doesn't interrupt the class. Is that? Oh, okay. All right. Um, continue, Precious, please.
My name is Precious.
So
I'm
your
here to
name is?
study
Huh?
Precious Precious. My name is Tobewale Precious.
Okay.
I'm here to study data science.
Okay. That's nice. Why do you have your first degree? Just asking. How does it nothing to do with what we are doing? You're just asking.
Not in school yet.
Yes, sir?
Not in school yet. Not
Oh, okay. Okay. That's nice. That's nice. I love that. All right. Welcome once again. My name is Oluwaseun, and like I said, please address me as Sheun. Sheun. Yeah. I've told some people they refuse to hear. I don't know where they are saying that's Sheun is just fine. All right. I'll be handling your class, data science, data analytics, Excel to Python. When you want to start deep learning and machine learning, Charlie will take over. All right. Data analytics for data science training. Oh, Sekinat is here. Sekinat, you're welcome. I'm coming for her.
Good morning, sir.
So where are you? Are you on your way or you want to stay online?
Sir,
Where are you?
I'm online.
You are not coming physically.
Yes.
So
It's
we had an initial agreement.
yes, I was on my way, but the race started. I had to go back home.
You have freezer at home, Abi. We'll pick
As
this up after the class. Let us stop the class. All right. So now for those that are here, please, there's a Wi-Fi. Are you connected to it already? So the Wi-Fi is what? It's bad. It's the weather. But let's have them connected. Are you with your laptop? Yeah, bring out your laptop. So just look for life is not hard. That is the name of the Wi-Fi. Life is not hard. I'll display the password now. So here is the password. So connect. And we all have Excel on our laptop, right? So let me know when you're connected. Are you connected? Or you're okay? Or still loading? So because of the weather, I think it is. But that's what I'm using. Those online, is it breaking?
No, it's not.
Okay, if it's not breaking, that means the network is okay. Winners. All right, just a minute trying to connect to the Wi-Fi. So it's at 365 unlimited. So let's continue. We just have a brief introduction to what we are about to start, right? So that when we start, apart from the technical questions, you have lesser questions when it comes to the theory aspect. So data analytics and data science training. Data analytics is crucial for businesses to stay competitive, adapt to changing market conditions, and drive growth by leveraging the power of data to make informed decisions. So I will explain that as we move on. So introduction to data analytics. Now, what is data analytics? Data analytics is the process of examining large sets of data to uncover pattern, trends, and insights that can help businesses make better decisions. It involves collecting, cleaning, analyzing, and interpreting data to extract useful information. So in this particular definition that we have here, right, just strictly stated what or states it states what data analytics is all about and who a data analyst is. Do you understand? Data analytics involves collecting data. Having collected the data, what do? You clean them. After cleaning them, you analyze, and after analyzing, you interpret. What is the work of a data analyst? Collect this data, clean them, analyze, interpret. Okay. Now, what is the importance of data analytics? It helps, what's it called? Informed decision making. It helps businesses to make decisions, and not just decisions based on guesses, but based on facts. Now, improve efficiency, competitive advantage. I won't be spending too much time on this document because we're going straight to practical, but we explain what it means in general. We have improved efficiency, competitive advantage, personalization, risk management, cost reduction, innovation. I will share this document with us. Informed decision, identifying pattern and trend, measuring performance. So now let me bring this home. Now, oftentimes, everybody, right, with one way or the other, we involved in data analytics. We're not just aware of it. Have you tried buying something and you've compared prices, right? Have you tried buying, let's say, a phone and looking at specifications? Do you understand? What are you actually doing? That's data analytics. Let me explain the underlines. For example, let me use a supermarket. Do you get? Now, when you buy something in a supermarket, some details are actually gotten from you. Do you understand? Some, your name included, some they don't need to get it for you. That particular, they actually determine it. For example, the day you are purchasing, right? They don't need to ask you, they know the date, what day it is. They know the time, they know the month, they know the year, they know the month, and they know the quarter. You get? Now, what you are purchasing, the amount of what you are purchasing, right? The category it belongs, they have those information. Now, using Mr. Biggs as an example, let's say Super Saver, right? Even though somebody said Super Saver does not save anything, I think we spend my Super Saver. That's actually a joke. Now, they've made sales for the past 1 month. And from that sales, they've recorded Sunday to Saturday. The time sales came in, the day, the month they are in, the quarter of the year, who made the sales, the location of the person that made the sales, the location of the branch of the Super Saver, the category of what was sold or the sales that was, the order that was made, the profit from that particular sales, and several other things that you can think about. Good morning, sir. Now, the category of that particular sales. Now, all these are recorded, right? And they have this particular data. Now, using this data, they can get information. Now, they want to know what day of the week are they making most sales, right? So this particular data is collected or given to the data analyst, right? And the data analyst will work on this particular data. Now, based on the sales or the record that has been gotten for the past, say, 1 month, 1 year, there's a consistency that On Friday, they're having more sales than the rest of the days. They say on Sunday or on Monday, they're having lower sales. Do you understand? Now, you can also want to get what time of the day are they having more sales, or the most sales. So they are saying that between 9 a.m. to say 10 a.m., just little sales. But once it's 12 noon, 1 p.m., they're having more sales. Once it's 3 p.m., sales drop. Once it's 4, 5 p.m., there's an increase in sales. And once it's 9 p.m., 10 p.m., there's a drop in sales. Do you understand? How was that done? Data was collected. It was cleaned to remove errors. Then it was analyzed. And after it was analyzed, it was interpreted. That's the work of a data analyst. Of course, it does not have to do with sales alone. Data analysts, they are needed in almost every industry. I think I did a list. I have about 30 or even more. Do you understand? What can I use as an example again? So basically, I'll start with that. You can see what a data analyst you get and why they are actually very, very important in almost every sector. Are you with me? Okay. So that's why I said it helps in decision making. So after analyzing the data, they know that once it's 1 p.m., the whole market or supermarket is crowded. Now, initially, they usually have like 10 staff on ground. They usually have like 5 pay points. Do you understand? Now, once it's 12 noon, 1 p.m., it's just crowded. Now, what decision can be made based on that particular observation? We have 10 staff on ground initially, they can increase it to 15. We have 5 pay points. Once that particular time, they can increase it to 10. Why? So that they can serve their customer better. How were they able to get that? It's actually based on fact, and they are not guessing. Do you understand? Now, they see that on Friday, they have crowded markets as well. What can they do? Throughout Friday, increase staffing. Now, also, they are noticing that, oh, their donuts, once is 1 p.m., they are out of stock on, say, Thursday. Do you understand? What decision can be made based on that? Okay, on Friday, we usually make, on Thursday, we usually make like 50. Let's increase it to what? 100. Why? So that we can serve our customer better. Who gave that? The data analyst. Do you understand? Because there's the data they have collected, and the data analyst was able to analyze this data and then extract all of this information, and then the organization was able to work on it, right? So that helps them in decision making. It helps in improved efficiency. Excuse me. Hello. Class. Yes. All right, so just a minute. Now, so as I was saying, now competitive advantage. We have Super Silver, we have Boku. Everybody here knows Boku, right? If you know what the sense of level or not. No, you know that. You know that. Issue with the level. No problem. Okay, person number is. You have to go back. You know. Sorry about that. All right, now competitive advantage. We have Goku, we have Super Silver, right? Now, one want to make sales more than the other. Yes or no? So they are in serious competition. Do you understand? I'm selling donuts, they are also selling donuts. You get. Once my donut is exhausted, they are moving to this particular place. So what do I want to do? I want to avoid that. So based on all the data that we collected, a lot of things can be done, right? risk management, personalization, also cost reduction, because there's some observation that can be, there's something that can be observed. Once acted upon, helps reduce cost. Now, innovation, what are people actually looking for? What do they want? Now, for those of us that, of course, we have our first degree already, we actually did project. Yes, sir. We did a bit of analysis. That's okay. Might not be aware, but we did a bit of data analytics to our project. We gave our questionnaire, we did that here. That's data analytics. From those questionnaires, you're able to make some decision, yes or no. That is data analytics. Let's bring it home. Election. We're looking at different charts, number of votes from this particular place, number of votes from this particular place, south and southwest, who rank higher, and all of that. That is data. That's the work of the data. You understand? So informing decisions, identifying pattern and trend. What is trend? We're looking at, for example, monthly sales. What particular month of the year do we have more sales? Let's say in December we had more sales. Why? Maybe it was festive period. Maybe we gave discounts. What really happened? Right? In January we had low sales. Why? Okay. People have squandered all their money during December period, during the remain. Afterwards, they are facing school fees. They are facing house rent. So what can we do? We can give some incentive, right? Buy this, get a pack of, let's say, small landia for free. People will be happy. Why? Students are resuming school. They will see that as their snacks. You understand? Okay. Now, you can also measure your performance. How are we actually doing? Now, in the month of January, we made 1 billion naira. Month of February, we dropped to 500 million. We are still making money. But why 50% decrease in sales? That's very, very much. Do you understand? So we can now measure how well the company is actually performing. Now, who is behind all of this? Data analysis. Do you understand? So basically, we can say that a business cannot survive without data analysis or data analysis. It's very unfortunate today. You see an organization, you see what's it called? A business that doesn't have a data analyst. And my question is, how are they making that? Oftentimes, when you now find one, you might not want to rate them well, but of course, if you know your value, right? Know what you bring to the table, you get. Nobody will treat you anyhow. You understand? Okay. So basically, all organizations will need data. And oftentimes, I think recently, if you are following Mr. Ali, posted something recently, maybe last week. The top, is it top 10? Maybe top 15 tech skill. Now, in data analysis is one of them. Why? People are rushing them. Like what I don't understand. Because they need it. They actually need them. So what is the role of data decision? What is the role of data in decision making? It helps in risk management. It helps in optimizing resources, improving customer experience, right? If you are really concerned about your customer, you need to understand what they are actually experiencing. People have a lot of complaints. The first and second time I used Boko, I had serious complaint. What was the complaint? Who has any complaint about Boko here? Anybody? About Boko? Does anybody have any complaint? I want to say it similar. I think I've had 2 or 3 persons say the same thing. Anybody here? Nobody. Okay. So I had this initial mindset that their staff were rude. Their staff, they were rude. I experienced like twice. I spoke with somebody and said the same. But for the past 3 months now, you understand? Did they carry out what was it called? Anything to what was it called? Did they carry out anything? No. I won't say no. I don't know. But I stopped experiencing. Do you understand? So something could have been done about it. Probably somebody complained. I don't know, but I'm just saying. But things like that happens in business. And if you are a business, if you own a business and you take it seriously, right? These are things you check. Yeah, I'm just saying, like I said, for the past 3 months, I've not experienced, but my first two, was it first and second, I experienced it. And afterward, it stopped. In fact, I think they are now more nicer. I don't know what really happened. I'm just trying to say. So things like that happen. So I'm just trying to explain where your customer experience, where it happens sometimes, that hasn't been like that ever since. All right. Now, introduction to some concepts. Now, we have data type. We're working data analytics. We have data type. Now, we have numerical data type, we have categorical data type, we have text data type, we have data type. What are numeric data type? Has to do with numbers. Are you with me? What are categorical data type? Has to do with categories. For example, gender is a category. We have female, male. We have, I think, others, just depending on whatever your data set gives you. For example, location is a categorical column, right? Location is a categorical column. We have different locations. What have you? Category, month, the categorical column. We'll see all of that as we move on. We have text data has to do with text, anything that has to do with text. We have date and time. We have structured versus unstructured data. We have structured data, we have unstructured data. What are structured data? Structured data, data that are organized in a highly organized and predictable format, often stored in databases. Example includes spreadsheets, rational databases, or CSV file. What are all of these? We are going to go through them as we proceed. Okay. Sorry, just a minute. I'm trying to attend to one of us online. Okay. Now, what are unstructured data? Data that lacks a predefined structure or organization, making it more challenging to analyze. Example include text documents. We're going to look at something like that. We have images, we have video, social media posts, right? As a data analyst, you can work as a social media analyst. You can analyze a YouTube channel, you can analyze a YouTube page, you can analyze a TikTok page, you can analyze an X account, you can analyze an Instagram account. Why? You want to discover patterns, you want to discover trends. You can see that this person is posting and on Friday she has more views than every other day. Then what will you advise the influencer post relevant content on Friday because you have higher views on Friday? You understand what I'm trying to say? Okay. So of course there's a bit of analysis that comes with those platforms themselves. I think YouTube give their own analysis, TikTok does that, but they're not as detailed as what a data analyst can do. And how do you extract all of that? They are very much possible. But let's continue. All right. Now, data sources, right? We have internal data source, we have external, we have primary and secondary. What is internal source or internal data? They are data generated or collected within an organization such as sales record, customer databases, or employee records. We have external data, we have data obtained from external sources outside the organization, such as market research report, government databases, or social media platform. Who has read a newspaper here before? Everybody could have. Who has read a newspaper here before? See a lot of graphs, see a lot of maps and all of that. That is the work of the data. How did they get that? Those are from external sources, from not within the organization that produced the, for example, Vanguard newspaper, right? When they are doing all of that, giving that report, where do they get that, right? From external sources. Now, primary data, that is data collected firsthand by the organization through surveys, interviews, or experiments, right? Money. And we have secondary data, that is data obtained from existing sources such as published research papers, industry reports, or public databases, right? Now, for those, I was mentioning something like projects. For those of us that did projects, the kind of data we got was what? Primary data. Why? Because we actually did surveys and likes. Now, data collection. Before you collect your data, what do? You define your objective. What do you actually want to achieve, right? Define the data source. Is it primary? Is it external? What have you? Data gathering, you collect the necessary data from identified sources, and also ensure data quality. Ensure that the data that are collected is accurate, because when your data is not accurate, trust me, your analysis will not be accurate. And whatever recommendation you are giving, do you understand, will definitely matter organization, right? Because if they are taking a decision based on the analysis you are giving them. For example, the month with the highest sales is January. But based on your own analysis, what you are giving is February. If they work with February and they see 100% drop in sales, whatever you see, please face it. Nobody will be responsible for it. You understand? So as much as, like I said, you are really needed, right? But whatever you do in that organization, can either make the organization go forward or go backwards. So data preparation, how do you prepare your data? You clean your data, you transform your data, feature engineering, data integration, data splitting. Okay, now look at data engineering. You create new features or variable from existing data that you make that may be more informative for analysis. This could involve combining variables, creating interactive terms, extracting relevant information from text or other unstructured data, data integration, combine data from multiple sources if necessary. Data splitting, I think that's more for data science. Like I said, I wasn't going to spend much time on this. I spent 33 minutes. I will go directly to what? Practical. You understand? Because that's where we're really going to start explaining everything I said here. Are you with me? Okay. So before I continue, we started by introducing ourselves. This is a family. I love to put it that way, right? We get to know ourselves. My name is Oluwaseun for those that are just joining. Yeah. So let's get to meet you, sir. So let me help you to introduce others. They've done that. I don't want them to stress themselves again. At the back, we have Blessing. In front here, we have Gladys. Data analytics, data science. We have Damilola, data analytics as well. My name is Oluwaseun. Online, we have Olamikosi. We have Precious. Okay, so let's get to the name. Mr. Christopher. Kane. Sorry for play. Get our state. All right. And data science, data analytics. Okay. So other question I asked them, just getting to know ourselves, has nothing to do with data analytics. So what did you study your first degree? Welcome, sir. We will need you in this class. I said, why? Because I studied physics. Why did you say? All right, we have a pharmacist in the house. We have a nurse in the house. We have business administration. We have economists. What have you? Not mentioned the one. Forgotten. So let's get to it. Mike, favor, okay? Ha. We have to, what they call it? Statistician. Okay, make I not bite my tongue. So I did statistics as well as a physicist. I did statistics that I think was my 300 and 400, I can't remember. But I did statistics as well. It was quite fun. You did biostatistics. You did statistics too. Okay. So those are like, please, you are not left out. Who else did statistics as a borrowed course or what have you? Anybody? No.
I did.
Okay.
I
You
did.
did. All
Yeah.
right. You say you're from Imo State. Where in Imo State? I accept the I asked you. So I know a little bit about Imo State. We are quite accommodating. So let's continue. We are done with our what's it called? Reduction. Let's move to, and we're all on the group chat. We all have Microsoft Excel. You don't have Microsoft Excel. Do you have WPS? Okay, so you start with WPS today before the next class. That's why I get Microsoft Excel. But that was what I'm using. You can use Microsoft Excel, WPS, Google Spreadsheet. But what I'll be using mainly in this class is Microsoft Excel. If you have issues with activation, what I mean by activation? It expires sometimes. You understand what I mean by activation? Hey, just let me know. I have it for permanent activation for all the Microsoft Word and Windows 10 and Windows 11 permanent activation. So if you need that, you can see me after the class. All right, that said, let's move to Excel. Thank you. Open your Excel. I'll be opening mine. And I'll also be sending a data set to the WhatsApp group. We'll need it very, very soon. Is there? Is there? Yeah, there's Wi-Fi. Life is not hard. That's the name of the Wi-Fi. I'll display the password right in. So I sent a data set to the WhatsApp group. All that data, just download and save somewhere. When it's time for us to use it, I'll let you know. So this is the password to the Wi-Fi. Let me be sure. All the right. I can take it off, right? All right. So once again, please, this class is recorded. After the class, you'll get access, just like we have everything I've started saying to the end of the class. You'll have access after the class. We have the website. I'll tell you about that when we are done with the class and how you can get access to the video. So you can always go back to watch the video. Okay. And please, if you have questions, ask. That is why we are here. If you want me to go back 10 times, I'll go back 10 times. Please. Don't say, I don't want to draw the class back. Please draw me back. I'll answer your question. Is it clear? I believe nobody's shy. And be free. Please, be free. Thank you very much. All right, so this is what Excel look like. If at all it should be new to anybody, maybe, I don't know, it shouldn't be new to anybody, what Excel is and what it looks like. Okay, now, so in Excel, we have what we call these grid lines, right? And each of the boxes we have here, they are called cells. Okay, now we have various tabs here. You can't see the details of my tab. Why? Because I unpinned it. So how do I bring it down? I'll just click on what I have here. No, sorry. I'll click on one of my tab. Then I'll click on this pin ribbon. If I click on this, now I have what I have here. Can you see? Now, why did I leave it at the initial one? having this, you can see I have few or just very space to work with, little space to work with. But if I click on this and take it up, I have bigger space to work with. You understand? So whenever I want to do anything, if I click on this, it comes up. If I click on any of my cell, it's what goes up. Do you understand? So you might see me use this sometimes, and you can see me, I will have to leave it this way. Do you understand? So like I said, we have various tabs here. We have our file. What do we do here? We can save our document. Now, saving here is very similar to saving every other document. If you work with system a lot, are you with me? We'll look at how to save our document later. We have our home tab here. We can do a lot of things. We can change our fonts, make it bold, italics. We can increase the font
Hello,
size.
Shu.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Yeah, please. Could you just repeat that place where you try to close the upper window? I mean, is it the tab now or the upper window? And
All
what
right.
you actually click to do that, please? Thank you.
Okay. Now, please, if I am fast, tell me I am fast. I have a tendency to be. You understand? Thank you. All right. So look at the arrow we have here by the right hand side. Can you see? It says collapse the ribbon. So if I want to take it up, if I want to collapse it, I'll click on this, then it's gone. Okay. So if I click on any of the tab that I have here, it's back, right? But I've not pinned it. So if I click on any cell, it's going to disappear. Do you understand that? Okay, now if I click on this and I want to pin it, what do? I'll click on this, pin the ribbon. So it means like seeing the ribbon, keep it open while you work. So if I click on this, it's what? Pinned. So while I work, my ribbon remains. You understand? That said, we have our home tab. We look at things that we can do here as we move on. We have inserts, we have page layout, we have formula, data, review. So I won't be going, I'm looking at the one after the other. As we work on analysis, we'll look at where and what we need on these particular tabs. Do we understand this? All right. So that said, let's look at, I said each of the box we have here, they are called cells. And each cell has a name. Now, for example, I'm clicking here. Now, this cell, where is the name written? The name is written here. Can you see? And that's C1. So how do we come about C1? Now, we have columns. This is column A, column B, column C, column D, until infinity. And we have rows. This is row 1, this is row 2, this is row 3, this is row 4, this is row 5. So if I have my cell here, this is column 1, row what? Row 1. So that is why this row is called, this cell is called what? C1, which is what? Column 1, row 1. Is that understood, please? All right. If I come here, this is a cell. This is row J and what? Row 9. That's why we have J9. You understand? Okay. Now let's look at just basic arithmetic in Excel. You can add, subtract, you can multiply, you can divide. Of course, when we now move to Python, we start talking about modulus, all of that. But of course, it's step at a time. What's today's date? Today is 11th. All right, for example, if I come here and I have 2, or I have 5, and I want to add this together, what do? Right? I can say now, before I do anything here, I have to start with equals to. Do you understand? And I can say 2, I'll use my plus sign, my shift, and my equals to sign, and I have 5. Now I have enter. That's what? 7. Are you with me? But as a data analyst and as a professional that you are going to be, this is not how you are going to do something like this. Now, to do this, what do? Like I said, you're going to start with, how did I clear it? I clicked on it and I used my backspace to clear it. Now I'm going to start with equals to, then I'll click on this cell. You can see, now I'll say plus. Now it's A1, that is I'm referencing this cell particular. I'll come here, click on the second cell, that's B2, and I'll use what? Enter. I still have 7. So what does this help me with? I come here and I click on and I change this to 6 and I use enter. What happens? Changes. Do you understand? Now, in cell referencing, this is what we call relative cell referencing. We have 3 different kinds of cell referencing. We have relative, we have absolute, and we have mixed cell referencing. I'm going to explain that in details. You understand? Now, if I come here, let's say I have 4, I have 2 or 5. I come here, I have 7, I have 1. If I come here, I have 6, I have 2. Now, I don't have to come here and start saying equals to again. What can I do? I can come here. Now, if I come here, you can see this particular box that we have here. If I put my mouse here and I drag it down, what happens? So if I double click on this, you can see it has moved down. Can you see? If I come here, you can see it's also referencing the cell we have here. If I come here, you can see it's also referencing the cell that we have here. Do you understand? So we'll be making use of this as we move on. This is still relative cell referencing. We'll look at absolute. Now, what if I want to subtract? It's actually easy. That's equals to, say I want to subtract column B from column A, right? That will be A minus, what do we use as our minus? Our hyphen. What I have here, I'll say enter. Can you see that? So to populate this, what would I do? I'll just double click on this. If I double click on it instead of dragging, you can see what we have. Is it clear, please? All right. If I want to divide, what do I do? Equals to, this I want to divide this by, I'll use my forward slash. You understand? Click on this, then what? Enter. And I can also populate what we have here by doing this. Is it clear, please? So what other things can we do? So as we move on, we're going to see that. Okay, so we talked about the name of the cell. We can also change the name of the cell, but we are going to get to that. Basic operations and like. Now, the data set are open, I sent to the group. Now, try it, let's open it. Let us open it. So this is mine. I want everybody to have this. Let me know when we have this. Have we all opened it? Can I continue? Okay. All right. Now, I want to give us 3 minutes. You understand, right? Just come here, do like this. Can you see? Do like this. And just look at what you have here. What can you say about what we have here? Those online, I want you to do the same thing. I'm going to ask Rob. give a comment. This is what the data set looks like, right? But just give a comment. Everybody, 3 minutes, please. Just go through it. Don't be scared. Eh? If I ask you, you don't understand. It's understanding. I just want to see what we can get from what we have here. All right, so can I ask you? People, right?
Yes, please.
So, okay, I know done. Miss Ola, me Posse, you want to say something?
Yeah, just looking at, you asked us to look at the 2 sheets, right?
No, just this one.
Okay.
What can you say about it? Just look at it. What can you say about it? Gladys, you want to talk? Okay. Perfect. That's it. So this is what the data set looks like. You understand? So this is sales data set. You get. So this is what we're working with, and we'll start our analysis with. Now, but before that, what's the first one to look at? Now, I want to go through this particular data set. You can see I'm new to it. Of course, I'm not new to it. I'm assuming I'm new to it. Now, I have order number. What does order number represent? I need to understand. So basically what we have here is a unique ID for each of the transactions. For example, if I go to Super Saver in the morning and say I bought a book, right? Now I have that particular transaction I made, right, has a particular ID to identify it for every other transaction. You understand? Now, if I go in the afternoon and I buy even the same thing, right, I will still have another transaction ID because there are 2 different transactions. You understand what I mean by that? Okay, so this particular column, what does it represent? If I click on the column head like this, it's going to highlight the whole column. So each of the entry we have here represents a transaction that was made. Do you understand? Now, if it represents a transaction that was made, should I have any other number appearing twice here? It means I must not have. If I have, what does it mean? It is a duplicate. Do you understand? Okay, that's the first thing we need to what? Note. Now, let's come to the second column. What can we say about this? This second column refers to the transaction date. That is the day, the month, and the year the transaction was what? Made. Customer name refers to what? Who made the transaction. Address, the address of the customer that what made the transaction. What city? Melbourne. What states? Looking at the first question, right? BIC for the first transaction. The customer type, home office. The account manager in charge of the transaction is what? ETBT. What kind of order is it? We have high, we have critical, we have low. I don't know the rest. We're going to look at how we can see that later. So we can see that the product that was purchased, this is the product name. The category the product belonged to, this is it for the first transaction. What container was the product packed in? You can see is what? A small box. How many quantity were ordered? 29. What is the cost price of that order? Is what? This is it. What is the retail price? This is it. The profit margin and the total. This is it. Do we understand? Okay. Now that said, I have just a little idea of my data set, not a full idea. I'm going to look at how we can have a full idea of the data set. Now, I decided to scroll down. Now I'm scrolling down. Let me ask. What column is this? Huh? Okay. Are you sure it's city? Okay. What column is this? Don't check your system. All right. Now, what I'm trying to point out here is the fact that while I started scrolling down, what happened? I could not see my column head again. Do you understand? So I want to do it in such a way that when I'm scrolling down, I want to have this particular row. I want to have it fixed. Do you understand? Okay. So how can I do that? Now, I'll come to my view tab. Can you see? And I'll see what I have here. Freeze page. If I click on the drop down arrow, what am I going to see? I'll see what? Freeze top row. It says keep the top row visible while scrolling through the rest of the worksheet. So if I click on freeze top row, what happens? Now, the very first thing you're going to notice, let me scroll to this side. You can see on our grid line here, this line that we have is thicker than every other line, yes or no? Can you observe that? It's not visible here because there's a color. Now, but you can see this particular line that I have here is thicker than every other line here. Yes or no? Like this, you look confused. What's up? How I got my free space, right? Okay, so I said just come to your view tab, click on free space, click on the drop down arrow here, and you see what? Freeze top row. When you click on it. So I've clicked on it. Now, having done that, you can see, let me now scroll down. You can see my top row what remains. So it means while scrolling down, I still get to know which column this belongs to, this belongs to, this belongs to. You understand? Now, having done that, I want to scroll sideways, right? And I want to keep seeing my order ID. I want to see the column, or rather the order ID each of this transaction belongs to. You can see as I'm scrolling, I cannot see. So what do I do? Now, I'll come to my second column here. Now, in between my first column and my first row, this is my first row, this is my first column. In between it here, you can see this corner here. I'll click on it. You can see what I have here. More or less like I'm drawing a line here. I'm drawing a line here. Then the angle 90 here. Do you understand? So this particular cell I have in between this column. Do you understand? So I'll click on this particular cell I have here. Do you understand that? I'll come to my view again. Freeze pane, I'll click on the drop down arrow I have here. And I'll click on, so before I do that, I'll have to unfreeze what I froze before. Let me come to my view. Come to freeze pane. I'll click on what? On freeze pane. After clicking on freeze pane, what happens? What I did initially is gone. You understand? So I'll come back to my cell here. Click on view, freeze pane. and I'll click on what? Freeze pane. When I click on freeze panes, now you can see there's a thick line here. Can you see? So if I scroll down, the top row remains. If I scroll sideways, the first column remains. You understand?
Sorry for cutting you short.
Yeah, ask your question.
Please, actually, this view of a thing, I really don't get it. Maybe it's because I'm online and I'm trying not to just follow the way you are moving your cursor and the arrows and everything.
Okay. All right, so let me repeat that again. So do you okay, I'll come and check it. Now, do you remember did you get how we're able to freeze the top row?
Not really, seriously.
Huh?
No.
Okay, so let me start all over. Now, I said we want to freeze the top row. How do we do that? Right? So freeze the top row, just click anywhere. That one doesn't matter. Come to your view tab. Are you with me? Allow me to proceed.
Yes, please.
So after coming to your view tab, come to freeze panes. Now there's a drop down arrow here. You click on the drop down arrow beside it, and you see freeze top rows. Can you see this?
I can see freeze plane.
Okay. Can you
Yes.
see freeze top rows?
No.
Okay, so share your
Yes,
screen.
I can see free
So
stop now.
you can see freeze top row now, right?
Yes, yes,
So click on freeze top row. Have you done that?
yes,
So now try scroll down. Your top row remains, right?
yes.
Okay, perfect. Now let's go and take it out. How do we take it out? Go back to your view, click on the drop down arrow and click on what? On freeze pane. Have you seen it?
Just do something.
Have you seen on
Yes,
freeze
yes,
pane?
yes,
Okay, so click on freeze pane.
yes. I've done that.
So when you scroll down, you can see it's gone.
Yes.
All right. Now, that said, so I said we want to freeze both top row and first column. So you come to B2. Can you see? Go back to your view, freeze pane, click on the drop down arrow. This
Yeah.
time around, what you are going to be clicking on is what? Freeze panes. Did you get that?
Yes.
So when you click on that, scroll down, it's frozen. Sideways, it's the same thing. Is it clear? So if you put it here, right? So let me take out my view on freeze pane. If I come here, view, and I say freeze pane. So I see. Everything. Exactly. So let me come and see what you said is not working. All right. That is how to freeze panes. Now, let's look at how to see all the data we have here. When I mean all the data, now this particular address, I don't have a full view of everything. Can you see? I have 9104 Paramount Road. Then what is that all? I'm not sure. Here, I don't have a full view of everything. Come to this particular product name. I don't have a full view of this product name. So I need to expand all the column. Now, for example, if I want to expand for just one column, what do I do? Now, for this address, I will just come here to this line. You can see it has changed to this plus sign. Can you see? And I'll double click. I use my left click. I'll double click on it. Then it will expand to the, what is it called? Entry here that has the highest number of characters. Now,
Can you please repeat that?
all right. Now, see what I have? I have my address. I don't have a full view of all my address. Some are very long, but it's not displaying everything. So if I want to work with this address alone, what am I going to do, right? I'll come to the colon here. Now, the line here, just at the end of the column, you can see. Once I bring my cursor here, turn to this plus sign, I will double click on it. That is, I'll be left clicking twice. And it expands everything. Can you see? Now, what if I want to do for the whole data set at once? The whole data set, I want to do it at once. What do? I'll come here. Now, if I click on what I have here, it's going to highlight my entire table or my entire sheet. So once I do that, then I'll just come to anyone, maybe the first one, right? Then I'll double click. What does it do? It automatically expands all the columns. So you just go through everything and you see. We understand. All right. So, having done that, now we can have a full view of what we have. Also, this data set is quite much. Yes or no? I want to see everything I have here. Now, I have city, I have states, I have customer type, I have account manager. Now, these are categorical column. When I make categorical column, I will explain as we proceed. How many cities do I have here? I don't know. From what I can see Melbourne, I can see Sydney. Is that only the two that I have? I don't know. So to see, that means I'll have to now start scrolling. That's quite a lot. I can't do that. So I want to see everything without scrolling. What can I? So we can now filter. Thinking of not doing this now. But let's go ahead. I can now filter. How can I filter? I'll come to my data, what is it called? Bar here. And I'll click on filter. Can you see filter here? If I click on filter, what did you notice? There's a drop down arrow beside each of the column. Can you all see that? There's a drop down arrow beside each of the column. Now, you can see, for example, this state now, I can't see the have full view again. I will select everything, double click again, so it's can see the full view. You understand? Do you have a question online?
Sorry. I'm so sorry to be a pain in the ass.
No, you're not a pain. No. Ask a question.
So there's one thing I noticed. Maybe I don't know if it's the same for everybody online. The rate at which, like when you're talking and when the cursor actually move, it's not. So I'm just trying to catch up. It's like it's not synchronous. Like it's
Okay,
not
so
following. Yeah, there's like
There's a
a
delay.
gap in
There's a
between.
delay in feedback, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
So those online, is it the same for everybody? Everybody. I
Yes,
need
it's
someone.
same with me, with mine rather.
Yeah,
So you
it's
have the
also
same
the
thing with checking
same.
out.
Yes, yes.
Okay, Mr. Olamide,
Yes,
you have the
It's the
same
same.
issue.
Yes,
yes.
it's also the same with me.
All right. So this is for specific
Are you
sort of
understand?
persons.
Yes.
Checking out Mr. Olamide and Mr. Chooks. Has it always been
Yes,
like
sir.
that?
Yes, yes.
Like when I mean, has it always been like that? Previous
No, like
classes,
no, just today class. I think it's the
just
next
today.
week actually. Yes.
Okay, so it's actually the weather this morning. I will change
Mm.
Wi-Fi now.
All
Just
right.
hold on. I will change Wi-Fi. The weather this morning wasn't so good, so I think we are still battling with it. Okay, so I just switched to a different Wi-Fi. Now let me know if it's persists. Do you understand? Those online, did you hear me, please?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so if it remains that way, please inform me your time. So we all got how I was able to bring down our filter option, right? Okay. Now, starting from my order ID, I want to see everything I have there, right? What will I do? I'll click on this drop down arrow. So you can see. Now you can see everything I have. Can you see? Okay. I will still come back to all of this. What are we trying to do? The very first thing you do when you get your data for analysis is number one, try to understand your data. Know what you have at hand. You jump into analysis, you jump out. You understand? Try to understand. Try to understand. Now, other dates. I'll click on the drop down arrow. Now, what can you observe in these other dates? So, this particular data set is for 2013 to 2017. So, I don't have to scroll down to start looking for it. So, I know that whatever I want to analyze is for how many years? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years worth of data set. And you can see, I can click on this plus sign here. But you can see in 2017, there's only record for January and February.
Yes.
I'll click on this minus sign, take it out. In February, there's record from what? For January to December. For February to December, there was no January. So you can see I'm trying to understand my data set. For 2016, I have January to December. So please, is the feedback still slow?
No, it's kind of better now. Please, could you just mention where you got that filter? The filter. I don't
Okay.
know. Yes.
So to bring out this filter option, just come to your data bar here and click on what? Filter. So once you click on filter, all these drop down arrows are going to what? Appear.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes. Thank you.
All right. So as I was saying, our order dates, this is what we have. Now, for example, I want to see the transaction for 2017 alone. What am I going to do? I will unselect this, right? And I'll click on 2017 alone. Click on OK. These are the transactions from 2017 alone. Can you see? What did I do? I filtered my data set. To bring it back, how do I know filter has been applied? Now look at where we have our drop down arrow. There's a funnel that shows that our filter has been what? Applied. Click on the drop down arrow. Now I want to see for 2017 and 2016. I'll click on both. Click on OK. And this is what I have. Here are the transaction for 2017 and 2016. Click on this again. What if I want to clear it? I can click on clear filter and other data. If I click on this, it's gone. Like I said, we are still coming back to this filter. We are trying to understand our data set. Now, our address, I can click on this. Right? Now, oftentimes, there are some columns in your data set that might not be useful to you. Some might be useful, some might not be useful. How do you determine that? Your analysis will determine that. What you are required to do will determine that. Do you understand? For example, if this data set is just saying, oh, we want to know the monthly sales trend, right? How much you are making on a monthly basis for all the years, the annual sales trend, what we are making from 2017 to 2013, the account manager that is performing well, and that is cool. Definitely that kind of analysis, we don't need address for anything. You understand? So let's go ahead. We want to look at city. How many cities do we have here? I'll come to my city column. I'll click on the drop down arrow. What can you see? We have how many cities? 3 cities. We have Melbourne, we have Perth, and we have Sydney. Can you see? Now, I want to know the transactions that came from Melbourne alone. I can uncheck this, click on Melbourne, click on OK. So these are the transactions that came from what? Melbourne. Can you see? So, all right. Click on this, I'll clear filter. Click on my drop down arrow. We have 3. I'll take out everything. Click on Melbourne. Click on what's OK. Can you see? So now I can see that these are the transactions that came from Melbourne. And of course, without having to scroll from the beginning to the end, I can see that we have just 3 cities. Okay. Having said that, I'll come to my states. I'll click on the drop down arrow. How many states do I have? 3. I have NSW. I have BIC. I have WA. So how many states are in this data set? 3. And of course, if I want to see for a particular state, what do? I uncheck everything, click on the state, let's say BIC, and I'll click on OK. Can you see? These are all the transactions that came from VIC. Is it clear? All right. Now, I want to look at, let me clear filter. I want to look at customer type. Right? Click on this drop down arrow. How many customer type do we have? Now, some of these customers that came to purchase, right? Some of them are just consumers. Some of them are corporate customers. Some of them home office. Some of them are small businesses. You understand? Okay. So also, I can check for each of them, right? Now, let's look at account manager. How many account manager do we have? Can you see? These are the account manager that we have. You understand? Now, I want to see the transaction that came from Charlie View. Look, I'll click on Charlie View. Click on OK. You can see these are the transactions that came from Charlie View alone. You understand? Okay. I'll take out my filter, clear filter. I'll scroll to the side. Now, I want to look at the other priority I have here. Click on the drop down arrow. So how many other priority do we have? We have critical, we have high, we have low, we have medium, and some
not specified.
and we have some, what's it called, other priority. They are not specified. And when we have blank, what does blank mean? It means nothing is there. So for example, if I uncheck everything, I click on blank, click on OK. So it means for these 2 transactions, no other priority was given. Do you understand? Now, as a data analyst, you might come across blank columns sometimes, blank cells, right? What do you do to them, or what do you do with them? Your analysis determines what you do to them. Some you fill it with something else, right? For example, if we're dealing with a numerical column, what do I mean numerical column? Numbers. Some may replace it with average, some depends on what you're doing, but as we proceed, we'll see what we can do with blank spaces. Do you understand? For this particular one, if I want to analyze, I can just replace it with not specified. Do you understand? Because we already have not specified. Not specified means nothing is actually there. If I also have blank, it means they are not also not specified. So I'll just replace it. You get it? But how do we do that? I'll show up as we proceed. Now I'll take this out. I'll just say clear filter as up. Now, product name, let's look at all the products that we have. So these are all the products that we have. Can you see? These are all the products that we have. Do you have a question? Let me proceed.
Maybe after, I don't want to draw us back. Afterwards, I can still follow.
Draw us back. Thank you.
So it's just I'm trying to do it because I'm actually using two systems, trying to practice on one and follow on the other.
Okay.
This the way at first this old table was like sort of close together, and you highlighted it and it becomes so spacious and you can see all the letters in it. So I've been able to do it for each of the column, which is to double click, like right click twice. But for the if I want to do it at once, not single column, I'm just trying to.
All right. So to do everything at once, what do you do? Can you see where my cursor is?
Yes, please.
Click on it. It highlights your entire data set. Can you see?
Okay.
Now, what you need to do is just come to any column here.
Yeah.
And when you have your plus sign like this, can you see?
Yes.
You double click.
Okay. Thank you.
Then it affects everything.
Thank you.
Please draw me back. Thank you.
Thank you.
That is why we are here. Now, let's look at product category. How many product category do we have? We have 3 product categories, right? We have furniture, we have office supply, we have technology. Can we see that? Now let's look at product container. So you can see these are the container that we have. Right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now these are order quantity, right? The highest that was ordered is 50, the least is 1, right? Cost price. We might not have business looking at the future all of this, right? Okay, so having done this, we have achieved something. We now understand our data set better. Do we understand? We now understand it better. Now, initially, when we started with our introduction, I was explaining text column and numerical column. So how do we identify a text column? How do we identify a numerical column? Of course, numerical column is number, text column is what? Text. Now, if I write a number here, and if I write a text here, what's the difference? So the text moves to the left-hand side, number moves to the right-hand side. That's the difference. You understand? So that's how you're going to identify, apart from seeing numbers. Okay, now, why is this important? Is this text or numerical? Why is it text? We have numbers. Yeah, no answer. Other number, we have numbers here, but why is it a text? By moving because of the hyphen. Thank you. When you add any character to a number, for example, 5 hyphen or anything, is equals to 5 this becomes a text. When you add any character, it becomes a text. You understand? Okay, that is how you identify a numerical and a text column. Okay. So that said, let's move forward. Remember, these are colons. These are what? Colons. And these are what? Rows. Now, what if I want to add a new column to our data set? What will I do? A new column, yeah, empty column. To do that, for example, I want to add a new column in front of other dates. What do I do? I'll come to the column in front of it. I will highlight it like this. How did I highlight? I just left click on column C like this. Can you see? I will right click and I'll click on what? Insert. Did you get that? Now, how many did I add? Just one. Why? Because I selected just one column. So what if I want to add two columns? What do I do? I will highlight two columns here. How did I highlight? I'll click on my column D. I will not release my hand, right? And I'll drag, this is two columns that I've highlighted, right? And I'll release my hand. I will right click and I'll click on insert. So what did I do? I have added two new columns. Why is this? So simple.
Sorry, Mr. Shea.
Okay. I will ask your question, please. I should repeat, right? Okay.
Yes, yes, please.
Okay, so I will repeat. Okay. So let me delete. I will explain how I'm deleting, so don't worry yourself. Unlike SQL that way, like that is. All right. So I said I want to add a new column. I want to add a new column in front of my other date column. Right? So how do I do that? I'll come in front of my other date. Now the question is, how many columns do I want to add? I want to add one column, right? So I'll just highlight one column in front of other date. How do I highlight? I'll click on the column on top, right? And I'll right click and I'll click on insert. Once I click on insert, I've inserted one new column. Those online, did you get that?
Yes, please.
All right. What if I want to insert two new columns or three? I'm going to now highlight three or two columns, depending. So I'll come in of what I have here. I will left click. I will not release my hand. Then I'll drag. This is two columns, three columns. And I'll release my hand. Then after releasing my hand, what will I do? I will right click. And I'll click on insert. So what happened? I've inserted three extra new columns. Do we understand? Clear? BK, is it clear? Is it clear? Right. All right, so what if I want to delete? For example, I want to delete one. What will I do? I will highlight on the one I want to delete, right? I'll right click on it and I'll click on delete. It's gone. Deleting the column. What if I want to delete all the three? I will left click on it, hold it down, drag, right click, and delete. Then they're all gone. That is, you have one here, you have one here, you have one here, you have one here. Okay, so let's do that. So somebody asks, what if the columns want to delete are not together? What do we do? So let me create a scenario for that. I will bring in a new column here. Bring in a new column here. Okay. Let me reduce what I have here. Okay, so I want to delete this and I want to delete this. What do I do? I will click on this, right? Then I'll look for my control button, my keyboard. Click on my control button. I will not release my hand. While still clicking on my control button, I'll come here, click on the second one as well. And you see, I've highlighted both together. Now right click and I'll delete. You understand? Click out my copy now. Yes. All right, let's continue. So how do we now add new rows? Very simple. To add new rows, for example, I want to add a new row on top of a column head here. What will I do? I will highlight the column head. Can you see? How did I highlight it? I'll just come to where the column number is written. I'll left click on it just once. Right? After left click, what am I going to do? I'm going to right click and I'll click on what? Insert. Can you see? We have a new row on top of that. Do it again. Now, I want to add a new row on top of our column head. I want to add one. I will highlight it. I will right click. And I'll click on insert. Now I want to add, let's say 5. What will happen? I will highlight 5. I will left click, then drag 2, 3, 4, 5. Now right click and I'll click on insert. Is it clear? All right, let me repeat that. So this is very similar to adding a column. I want to add it on top of a column ID. I will just left click once, right click, then insert. I want to add more than one. I will highlight 5. Any amount I want to add, I'll just highlight, right? Then I'll right click. Then I'll insert. That is how to add new rows. What if I want to delete? Yeah. Okay, so if I want to add under this one now, right? I will highlight this one. Insert. So which one ever I highlight it, insert it above it. Now, how do we undo? To work in Microsoft Word, Control Z. How do we redo? Control Y. We all know that. Okay. But I don't want to use undo and redo here. So how do I delete this again? I'll just highlight whatever I have here. Then I'll right click and what? Delete. Stop. Is it clear, please? All right. So I'm getting familiar with our data set. Now, the funniest thing is that when you start analyzing the data set, you will not outgrow everything you are doing now. Even when you become a professional, because when you see your data set, you still want to understand. Do you understand? So all of these are the steps that you are still going to take even as a professional. The only thing is that you might be very fast with them. Do you understand? In a matter of 20 minutes, you already understand the data. Most likely, if possible. Some 2 days, you are still checking your data. And some 1 month, you are still cleaning your data. I pray you come across such data in Jesus' name. Do not say amen. Because some data are really messy. I think I have one of my system. I don't think I can share exactly the private data for a particular company like that. Right? I saw this data set. It was, you know what? Messy is an understatement. When I mean messy, it was if your data cleaning skill is not good, you can't work in that company. That I can tell you. Is that a papa here? All right. I think I don't want to do testing. So having done that, now another question we need to ask is how many transactions we have. Or before transactions, now we are not so certain if there's a duplicate in this data set. Do we know if there's a duplicate? No. And we cannot start checking, which one repeats itself twice here? Who wants to do that? But now, how do we do that? I'll come to my data now. A view. Let me see. It's under data. How can you? Let me see. Okay, it's hidden here. So if you have, I don't know what version of Microsoft Excel you have, right? Some may be spelled out. You are going to see it. Remove duplicate. Why some to be spelled out, depending on your version. Do you understand? So to remove duplicate values or duplicate entries from your data set, what do? Come here, come to your data tab. Right? Can you see data here? Come here under data tools. You will see remove duplicates. And what we have, it says delete duplicate rows from a sheet. Can you see? Have you all seen it? So if I click on it, now it's asking, what do I want to check? I'm saying all the columns, right? You can see all the columns they are selected. I just check through all the columns. If there are duplicate entries across the rows, what do? Take them out. Do you understand? So I'll click on what? Okay. So what did you see? No duplicate values found. That you do it again. Yes, I did that. So to do that, I'll go again. I'll go to my data tab. Under data tools, like I said, yours may be spelled out as a remove duplicate. Mine is not spelled out, it's just a symbol. And what is the symbol? This is it. Can you see? Huh? No, remove duplicate. Remove duplicate. Those online, did you get that, please?
Yes, please.
All right. If I click on delete duplicates, it highlights all the columns. You can see all the columns are checked, and you click on OK. Now it's telling me that no duplicate value found, right? So this is the very first thing you should even do with your data set before you continue to do anything. Do you understand? Huh?
So please, just to come in at this point. So if peradventure we now have some duplicate row, is it advisable to just delete them at once like that while still
So it will
checking?
automatically once you do that, it will automatically delete everything.
Wow.
Do you understand?
Okay. So is it a good advice, like maybe in any data?
It's an excellent advice.
Okay. Okay.
You cannot work with the data set to duplicate.
Okay.
So analysis is going to
Okay.
not give it everything. Okay. All right, so let's continue. So now we've removed duplicates. Another question I want to ask is, how many transactions do we have? So if we're talking about total number of transactions that we have here, is it safe to say that when you count the total number of rows in this data set, is it safe to say we want to count the total number of rows in this data set?
No.
Okay. So, because you said no, why?
Oh, I thought you asked the question that is it safe to count them one by one or to get a means of counting them maybe in a shorter form?
Okay, so if I have a shorter form to count
Yes,
the total number of rows
yeah,
in this
it's
data
very
set,
necessary.
is that a safe thing to do to get the
Yes,
total number of transactions we have?
yes, yes.
Yes. Do you understand? I want to know the total number of transactions I have. So now I want to start with our functions. To use our function, I'll open a new column here. I want to do it here. Do you understand? Now, I want to count the total number of rows in this data set. What function am I going to use? I'll be using the function rows. Now, before you start your function, you start with an equals to. Do you understand? Now, I'll say rows. Now, what is row used for? Row is used to count the total number of rows in a data set. Row is used to count the total number of rows in a data set. Now, as you are typing your function, Excel will be giving you options. Do you understand? Now, I tapped my rows, it's telling me that this is what I'm actually looking for, right? I can double click on it, or I can just put an open bracket, because you always start, whatever you want to apply your function, you put the brackets, right? So if I don't put the bracket, I can double click on what I have here to open my bracket for it. Now, Excel also gives you an idea of whatever you want to do next, right? Now it's asking for array. What does array means here? It means the range that I want to count. That is an array. Do you understand? And now let me ask a very simple question. If I want to count, will I start counting from this place, or I will start counting from this place? From 3, because it's a column head. Column head is not part of the transaction. Do you understand? Okay. Now, if I want to select my array, this is actually how to select. You left click, then drag. Now, I can't imagine that I want to start dragging like this to the end. I can't do it. You can see I'm still on this for how many seconds? I've not even gotten to half. So obviously, I cannot do that. Now, how am I going to select that range? I'll come to the beginning here, the first one. I'll use my control I will not release my hand. Shift, I will not release my hand, right? And I'll use the arrow I have here. We have up, down, we have left, we have right. I'll use my right. Then it goes to the end of the data set. Now I'll use down, comes to the very end. That is how we're going to select our array. You can see, what did we do? We just selected all the data sets at once. Can you see that, please? All right. So I'll take it out. And of course, to scroll, we can use this place to scroll. Can you see here? So in case you are down there, you can just take it up from here. So I'll go back to my formula. Ensure you are starting from the first column. So I'll say equals to rows, right? I'll double click on what I have here. Now my array, I'll click on the first entry here. Can you see that? Control Shift, sides, then downwards, and then enter. Once I do that, I'll scroll up. This is what I have. So the total number of rows or total number of transactions in this data set is what? 1,039. I need everybody to do that. One thousand and 39. All right. Pause. So I'll take it out. Equals to rows, right? I can open my bracket or just double click on this. Click on my first entry. Control Shift, I will not release my hand. Sides, downwards, enter. I'll scroll up. That's what I have. Those online, please, I will follow it.
Yes, we're still on it though.
All right, that's fine. Equals to row. Then you select, let me do it again. Right? Equals to rows. You see? I'll select my first entry. Control Shift. Right? I'm not releasing my hand. Sides, and down, enter. Now scroll up. This is what I have. The sides. Yeah. I should come. All right. Okay, they delivered it from here. How much was the delivery?
It's not giving me.
As regular customer. What it is to the order, it's global. Eh? Boss lady. All right, can I continue? Okay, so now we've counted total number of transactions.
I'm not getting, sorry, I'm not getting 1039. I'm getting
What are you getting?
912.
Are you sure you are highlighting from the very beginning, which is row 3?
Yes. I
It-
clicked on row 3
All right.
and,
So
and
share your screen. Share your screen.
I can actually share it. As I said,
You
there
said?
was I can't really share it because I'm
Okay.
using another system, not the one I'm using for the
Oh,
Zoom
sorry.
meeting.
So maybe after the class, we can
Okay,
have another Zoom meeting together to look at that.
thank you.
Is that okay?
Yes, please.
All right. So let me check this out. We need a break. No, continue. Continue. We don't need a break. Do you need a break? No. Gladys, do you need a break? No. Pat, do you need a break? Pat, do you need a break? Do you need a break? Majority will carry the vote. 3% says they don't need a break.
Yes,
Wait,
yes, we need a break.
Wait. Let's vote. So, what they don't need a break? Sir, do you need a break? No. Okay, so 4 people here do not need a break. So
Okay.
1 person needs a break. Those online, if you need a break, let me see you.
We need a break, oh.
So
We need a
2
break.
persons.
Yes,
Second,
so
okay.
we need
That's
What I
so.
say?
We need a break.
Okay. So let's take 10 minutes.
Thank
10 minutes. Thank
10
you.
minutes.
We're
Thank
back
you.
in 10 minutes. All right.
I think I've seen it.
Look like 30 minutes, right? Okay. Those online, please, are we back?
Yes, we are.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So before we left our break, we looked at how we can count rows, total transaction we have in this particular data set. Now let's see how we can now count by column, right? So we're looking at different count functions. We have count, just count alone. We have count A, we have count blank, and we see what all of that is used for. So we start with count. Now, what do we use count for? Count as a C-O-U-N-T. We use count to count the numerical value that we have within a column. Count is used to count numerical values that we have within a column. So the question is, if I apply count to this particular column, am I going to get anything? No, because we use it for what?
No.
Numerical column.
No.
So let's try that here. Now, for example, now I want to count the total order quantity. Now, when I say I'm counting the total order quantity, I am not summing up everything I have here, please. I just want to count each of the appearance. Do you understand? So if there is no blank space here, which there is none, what should I have? 1039. Do you understand? Because that's the total number of entry we have here. So let's see. How do I start? I start with that equals to. Now say count. This is it. So you can see we have count, we have count, we have count blank, we have count ifs, we have count ifs, right? So we'll see all of that as we proceed. So count. I'll double click on it. Now it's asking for value 1, value 2. Basically, it's referring to the range that I want to count. Do you understand? And it is this column that I want to count. So what will I do? I'll click on the first entry we have in this column. Can you see? And I'll use Control Shift down. What did I do? I selected the whole column. Do you understand? And I'll say enter. If I scroll up, you can see this is what we have. Yeah, this is your love right. That's right. All right. So let me do that again. Equals to count. Choose what I want. I'll select my range. The first entry here, Control Shift down, and enter. So this is what we have. So now let me now prove to you that this is used to count just numerical data or values alone. If I come here, can you see what I'm doing, please? If I delete this and replace it with a text, that's a shell, and I use enter, what do I have? That's reduced by 1. If I take this out again and I use another text, what do I have? That's reduced by another 1. Why? Because it only counts numerical value within the range. I use my Ctrl Z to bring it back. Those online, please. Is it clear?
Yes, please.
All right, so let's look at another count, which is count A. What do we use count A for? We use count A to count both numerical and non-numerical values within a range. That is, it helps us to count both texts and numbers within a range. So to do that, let me use product container. I'll say equals to count A. This is it here. I'll double click on it. I'll select my range. The first entry, Control Shift down, then enter. If I do that, see what we have. Now let me prove to you. If I take out this small box and I replace it with a number, let's say 56, what happens? It still remains the same thing. If I take this out, replace it with a number, what happens? It remains the same thing. So it counts both numerical and non-numerical data or entries, say value within a range. We understand that. Count A, yeah?
Let's say first price
Together.
together.
Why would we want to count it together? Do you understand? There's no reason for such. So back to favor. So I said count A helps us to count both numerical and non-numerical data. That is, if there's a text, it's going to count it, the number is going to count it. So I want to use this column as an example. Equals to count A, right? I'll select my range at the beginning, Control Shift down, then enter. Can you see this is what we have? Counted everything. So everything we have is text. Now let me now change one of it to a number. That still remains the same thing, right? So it counts both numbers and text.
Mr. Show.
Yeah.
Sorry, what if the what's it called column? There's an empty cell there. Is it still going to count it with it?
Okay. So now let's take this cell. No, not counting it because it's neither a text nor number. Can you see?
Okay, thank you.
If I replace it with the number, it's counting it.
Okay.
So after count, we did count A. After count A, now we want to look at count blank. Count blank. So what do we use count blank for? We use count blank to count the number of empty cells within a range. The number of empty cells within a range. That is what we use count blank for. So let's look at that. Let me use what I have here. Equals to count blank is asking for my range. The first Control Shift down, enter. You can see we have 0. Why? Because there's no empty cell within this column. So if I take out 1, it records 1. If I take out this, it records 2. We understand? Now, that said, let's look at how to format a cell or a range. So when I mean format a cell or a range, what do I mean? I mean maybe a particular cell, I want to have a particular format. Or a range, I want to have a particular format. Now, for example, our order date here is a particular format, right? Now let me take out this row we have here. If I select this, I'll come to my home tab. Now, you can see this section. This is where we use our format. Let me pin it. This section. Now, what we have here, right, is a particular format. Let me come here, click on this drop-down arrow. Let me use log dates. You'll see the format we are going to have. Can you see what we have? This is the format. If I come here and I use short date, this is the format. Now, let me come here. This is also a format because it has dollars. If I come here, if I change it to general, done. If I come here and I change it to currency, that is a format. That is anything I put in this particular column, it will carry this dollar sign. Do you understand? Okay. Now, what we have here as well, I can format it to 0 decimal places. What will I do? Look at what we have here. This one increases decimal. This one reduces decimal. So if I click on this, sorry. So to do this, I will have to select the range. Control Shift down. To select the range, then I'll take this up. Then so I'm coming. And are you serious? So I'm coming, my Excel run ran into so I want to take this out and reopen a new one, right? It's telling me it's corrupt. All right, let's continue. So for example, if I come here, this particular cell, if I format it to currency, anything I type there, can you see? So what if I want to change currency? Just come here, click on the drop down arrow, more account currency, symbols, then you change your currency here. You have Naira, you can see it. Depending on whichever you are working with. So now if I want to change decimal places, Control Shift down. Now this will help me reduce decimal places. You can see it has changed one decimal place, 0 decimal place. I can also increase it. So I see. Now, oftentimes when you see things like this, what does it mean? It means whatever you have in that column, they are too large that it cannot display it. It does not mean it's an error. So you can double click here to expand everything. So I'll reduce it to, all right. And for example, if I use this one, put this percentage, whatever I put in, let's say 7, you can see it carries 7%. Now, for example, if I have one, two, just have a lot of numbers there. I don't know what is number in thousands or millions. So if I click on this comma, can you see? So I have 234,000. You got at 26. So that is how to format cell. We have various options here. We have number, currency, accounting, percentage, fraction, what have you. Okay. So I want to delete all of this. Now, I'm working with this data set, right? I don't want to delete some column, but I want to hide them because I don't need it. For example, customer name and address, I want to hide it because I don't need it. What do? I'll right click on it, right? Select both, then right click and click on what hide. You can see it's gone. I did not delete it, but I hid it. How do I know I hid it? Now look at this place, you see double line. What does it mean? There's an hidden, right? So I'll come here before it, right click on what? Hide. Is it before it or after it? After I click on it, hide. Let me come to the colon. Okay, select the two here and hide. Okay, you understand? The one before and after it, I selected both together, right click, and I used on hide, and it brought back everything. We get that, please. Is it clear? Okay, let's continue. Now let's look at how we can sort our data. What does it mean to sort data? Who can help us apart from Damilola? Does you know what it means to sort data? Okay, so let me do that. Now let me hide these two again. Control hide. So you can see in between B and E, that's where it is hidden. So I'll highlight both together. Then I'll see hide. So who can tell me what it means to sort?
To arrange.
You said?
To arrange, right?
Yes, arrange as in how?
The ascending order or descending order.
Yeah, very much correct. Ascending order or descending order. That is what it means to arrange. All right, let's continue. Now we can either sort in ascending or descending. If we are sorting number in ascending, what do we have? From 1 to the last number. We are sorting in descending from the last number to 1. If we are sorting in text colon or range in ascending order, what do we have? Alphabetically, from A to what? Z. And descending order from Z to A. So let's look at how that is done here. So how do we do that? I'm going to be using our data tab here. You can see sorts, right? Now, the one beside it, the one on top, it says sort A to Z. The one down here is saying what? Sort Z to A. Now, for example, I want to sort order quantity, right? In ascending order. I'll click on cell here, come here, and I'll say sort in. This is what? Smallest to largest. I'll click on it. What can you see? Start from 1, then the last one will definitely be what? Can you see? That is how to sort. I want to sort this particular column. I'll just click on it. Click on any entry here, preferably the first. Come to my data tab. This is what? Smallest to largest. This is largest to smallest. So if I click on largest to smallest, it sorts in descending order. Is it clear, please? Now, let me try another column. Product name. I want to sort. I'll click on it. I want to sort in ascending order. I'll click on the first one. You can see. Started what? In ascending order. That is how to sort. Now, another way we can sort is by bringing in our filter. Now, if I come here, possible. Look at it. So, I'll bring in our filter, click on the drop down arrow, look at it here, sort A to Z, sort Z to A. I see. So if I click on sort A to Z, that's what we did initially. If I come here and I click on sort Z to A. So those are two different ways that we can sort using our filter. Click on your drop down arrow, right? Look at sort A to Z, sort Z to A, right? So it sorts. Can you see? Now, how do we sort based on levels? What I mean based on levels, that is, we want to sort more than one column at a time. How does it happen? Our whole is to provide whatever we want to sort, and Excel does the magic. You understand? Like your question. Excel does the magic. So how do we sort? I'll come to my view now. I'll come to my formula. No, not away from selection. Click on sort. Okay, sorry. Click on sort. See what I have here. This other one. That's what I need to be using. I'll click on sort. Can you see? Now this is going to appear. Now, one has been sorted here already, which is under priority. So let me delete it. I'll click on it. I'll click on delete level. So let's start adding level. I'll click on level, add levels. So it's saying sort by. I'll click on this drop down arrow. What column do I want to sort? Let's say I want to sort by customer name. Are you with me? Sort on what? I'm using cell value. How do I want to sort? Ascending order, which is A to Z. I'll click on it. Can you see? Having done that, I want to sort by another. I'll click on add level. So it's saying sort by customer name in ascending order. After you have sorted it, then now move to another column. I will specify. Say city. Cell value. How do I want to sort it? Sort it in descending order. Then after you've sorted by customer name, sorted by city, I'll say add levels. Then sort by, I'll pick another one. Say product category, say A to Z. I'll say add levels. Sort by, let's now say city or state. Now, we can sort using custom lists. Custom lists, I don't want to sort ascending or descending. I want to have a regular pattern that I am giving Python. I'm giving Excel to work with. Do you understand? So I'll click on custom list. Right? This is the list I want to have. I can delete it. Now I'm saying new lists. How do I want to have it? I know what I have in my states. I want WA to come first, followed by NSW, followed by VIC. This is the list I want to have. Are you with me? Are you with me, please? So I'll now say add. Then I'll select it here, which is this one. I'll say OK. So this is how it's now going to be sorted. This is neither ascending nor descending, but a pattern that I gave Excel to work with. You understand? So I'll click on OK. What happens? It has sorted this entire data using that code. You have sorted the entire data. How did they sort it? You are not in charge. You understand? Just sort it from. If you have a question, please do let me know. Can I continue, please? All right. What's the next one? All right. So how do we delete what we've done? Just come back to your sort. Right? Click on it, delete level, click on it, delete level, click on it, delete level, click on it, delete level. I should come. Okay. All right, let's proceed. That's I want to take this one. Now, from what we have here, for this particular transaction, can you tell me what year is that transaction? What year is this transaction? 1 month. Are you so sure? Huh? Are you so sure? Those online, please, are we following? I don't want anybody left out. Please, those online, are we following?
Yes, yeah.
Yes, yes.
All right, thank you. Hmm? Yeah, no. Yeah, no. You sure? You sure? Yeah. So let's see which is correct. Now, what do we want to do? From our dates, we want to extract month, year, and the day. When I mean day, I mean date. Let's continue. Now, the very first thing we want to extract, let's extract our month. I will bring in a new column in front, and I'll name this month name, month number. Now, month can be extracted in two different ways. We can extract it as a number, that is January is 1, February is 2. We can extract it as a text, that is January, and we can extract it as a text in short form and as a text in the long form, right? January is short form as JAN. January is long form as a full spelling. Do you understand? So I'm going to extract it in 3 different ways. Are we clear? Okay. Now, the very first one to look at is number. So how do we extract our month number? We start with equals to, and we use the function month. Can you see? First one we have here, double click on it. So it's asking for serial number. What do we mean by serial number here? It means what we are extracting from. So I'll click on the first one, right? And I'll just say enter. Now, what do we have? We have short date format instead of number. Why? Who can guess? We're supposed to have just a number here now, which is a month number. But we're having a date. Who can tell me why? Who can guess? That has nothing to do with the formula. So it means this format is a date format. This column, if there's a format there which is short date. Do you understand? So I will just highlight this column. I'll come to my home tab, come here, and I'll change it to what? General. So what month now? Do you understand? Now, I cannot come here and start doing the same thing again. How many rows will I do it? Do you understand? So what will I do? I'll come here. You can see what we have here, right? I will double click on it and it populates everything to the end. Yes. I should repeat. All right. Repeat. I have done the first one, right? So to populate the rest, I can't type my formula again. I'll just come here. You can see where we have this box here. Now you can see that my cursor has changed to that plus sign. I'll just double click, that is left click twice. And it populates every other. Of course, you like Excel. Hey. Like you start saying, select staff from office update. Right. It's nice though. All right, so that is how we're able to get our month number. Now, what if I want to have our month name? I'll bring in a new column here, and I'll say month name, the brackets. Let me just put long in front. When I mean long here, I mean in full. But let me write. So what I mean here is I want to have it as in this will now be like September. Do you understand? Now, if yours is not following my own pattern, it says that you don't have 9 here, you have another number. Remember, we've sorted our data. The way I sorted my data will be different from the way you sorted the data. So it's not compulsory we're having the same thing. Do you understand? Some of you, my first month here is September. Yours might not be September. Why? We have sorted our data. So the old data set now might be scattered. Yours is different, mine is different. That does not mean your own is not correct. Do you get? Now, I want to have my month name in full. What do I use? Here, who can guess? Yeah, nobody can guess. Anybody cannot guess. Nobody. So I'll say equals to what I'll be using now is what? Text. Text. Are you with me, please? Now it's asking for value. What is that value? What we want to extract. I'll click on it. You can see what we have next here, a comma. I'll put a comma. It's asking for format text. What kind of format do we want to have? Now, in Excel, when we're working with numbers in a formula, we write out the number just like that. When we're working with text, we put it in a quote. Do you understand? So I'll put a quote. I'm working with month, and I want to have it in full, right? And I'll use M. I'll type M 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you see? Close my brackets. I'll use what? Enter. I didn't close the quotes, so that's why I'm having an error. But that's why we help us extract our month in full. Yes, that's will be 4 times. Can you see? If I use enter, what do we have? Can you see? If I want to see my formula, I'll double click on it again. This is what we have September. To populate it, I'll just come here, double click, left click twice. Can you see? Those online, please, is it clear? Those online, is it clear?
Yes, it is.
All right. Thank you. Okay, here's the formula. All right, let's continue. So what if I want to extract in short form? I'll say month name. Let me say, just say shots. So this is very similar to what we had initially. I'll say equals to text. What's my value where I'm extracting from before any first one? Then comma. Now here, instead of 4 M's, I'll be having 3. That'll be 1, 2, 3. Close my quotes, close my bracket, enter. Can you see? So the difference is the number of M's. The other one is 4 M's. The one we have here is what? 3 M's. We understand. So if you use 2 M, you are going to get number. Yep. So let's try it. Can you see what we have? So let's try one. Can you see? All right, that is okay. We've done for month. Now let's look for day. Insert, and I'll say day. So I'll use equals to day, the day function. Day, not days, please. Day. What do we use days for? We use to calculate difference between days as days, but day, right? Click on my serial number, which is this, enter. So what is this giving us? Dates of the month. Here's what I mean by date of the month. It's 1st to 31st. How much you, sir? I should come. Okay. Not please, it should be 3M, not 4. Can I continue? So let's look at how we can extract. So let's say day of the week. I'll say in full. So how do we do this? Equals to text, right? What is our value? Our order date, comma, open the quotes. Now dealing with what's it called? Day. We use D. If I use it 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are brackets, enter. Can you see? Thursday. If I populate it, this is what we have. So if I want to have it in short form, I say day of the week. I say shorts. So it's the same thing. Who can help me with it? Equals to what? Text. The value with this, comma. So we have 1, 2, 3. That is what we have. So we have 7 minutes left. Should I go to cell reference? We have 7 minutes left. Should I start cell reference?
Can we start on Friday?
You said?
Can we start that on Friday, please?
Okay, you want us to start it on Friday? Yeah, let's go. You want me to go into cell reference? Let me see. Nobody.
Let's start on Friday.
Should I continue and start cell reference? Okay. Favor for that? Good boy. It's not much actually. Okay. The thing is that if I start, I'll take extra time. But it won't take too long, but I'll take extra time. I'll go beyond what I start. Maximum 110, 115. Those online, you want me to start? Let me see you. You don't want me to start? Let me see you.
Don't start, please.
Eh?
Don't start, please. Let's start on Friday.
Okay, so do you have to be somewhere by 1? You have to be out by 1, right?
Yes.
Or
In fact, I'm
we'll
running
start.
there.
All right, I won't start it because 1 is the time. So if somebody is not going to be around, all right, that's fine. We'll continue on Friday, 10 a.m. Please, 10 a.m. sharp. I will not wait for anybody. God knows. Koyisola, Sekinat. No, I'm calling you.
Yes.
I will not wait for anybody on Friday. Trust me. I will not wait for anybody. Once it's 10,
But you know why I
but
was late today now? I didn't know.
don't worry. I don't hear it. For Friday.
Mr. Shay,
And
it was
Sekinat and
really good.
Koyisola, after now, we'll continue our meeting with that fella. We'll continue our meeting.
Mr. Shay,
We'll continue our meeting. Let us disturb. All right, thank you very much for your time. Now, please, if you have any question, of course, you all have my contacts now. I'm the one sending message on the group. I dropped the link, right? If you have any question, message me anytime. It's 3 a.m. Message. If I respond, congratulations. If I don't respond, put my phone silent. Just joking. You know. So please, if you have questions, don't hesitate to message me. If you are confused, at most, create a Zoom link and we're going to share screens. Okay, so that will be all. Thank you very much for your time. See you on Friday.
Thank you very much.
This one. Okay, so now for the videos, right? So there's a website. Either way, I copy. Let me show us the website. Okay. So let me show us the website, please. Now, can you all see this website? learnfast.com.ng. Can you see it, please? So all you have to do on this website is create an account. Are you with me? Create an account. After creating an account, Mr. Ali is going to drop a message in the group as to how you're going to, what you're going to do. Just do the same thing I'm saying. So once you create your account, Mr. Ali will request for your email address, right? So once your email address has been requested for me, let me log into my own personal account. Okay, so it's still loading. I want to show you how you're going to get access to. Okay, there's no even need to get access. Okay, this. I think the Wi-Fi is slow. No wonder. Let me switch to my own Wi-Fi. Is it okay? Now it's going on well now. All right, so I'll log in. Why is it telling me failed? Oh, this is my password. So please, those online, I hope you are seeing what I'm doing. Now, asking for a verification code from me. Let me look at my email. Let me copy it from here. So I want to show us still logging in. All right, so this is what you're going to have, right? Now, all you have to do, locate is my course. You understand? So once you click on my course, You will see Excel. Then today's class will be there. So as we have our class one after the other. Yes, you click on you click on my course. You understand? So the class will be updated one after the other. For example, that of Excel, you're going to see today's class. You see it there. If we have another class, so let's go to upload it and we'll see it there. Just everything we did in class, we uploaded it. So in case you need to go back there. Now we're going to have a deal in this class. One thing, please, those online, I still have 1 minute. One thing I don't joke with my class is you must watch the video. Immediately you step out of here, you've forgotten 60% of what I taught you. That is sincere. That is good. So before the next class, or when we meet, I'll be asking everybody, have you watched? Nobody's going to have backlog. Why? Because after each tool, you'll be getting an assessment, right? You understand, just to test your knowledge. And it will cut across everything I've taught you. And I don't give you just 1 week to submit your assessment. To be attended to, submit an that. All of this will come in handy when you want to create a portfolio. Do you understand? Because everybody here is graduating with a portfolio. So we're not just teaching you, we're teaching you, and at the point of your graduation, your job grade, immediately. Do you understand? What certified that is your portfolio? So please, latest by evening, Sally will have uploaded the latest. So you have to watch. It's going to be like about 3 hours long. If it's too long for you, increase the speed to 2.0. There's a way you can increase the speed. Just never around. So please watch the video. The thing is that if you don't watch today's video, by Friday, you will have 2 videos to watch, and that's 6 hours. You don't want that. So that's it. Thank you very much for your time. I'll see you on Friday.